I just gotta say, Choso in my top 10 favorite characters of JJK video, he was around number 10. He might have been exactly number 10. After this chapter, he might, in the next time I do a top 10 JJK characters, he's definitely gonna have to go up in rank because oh my god, this was one hell of a last stand by him, and I just want to get into everything that transpired in chapter 204. So let's go ahead and get into it. Choso and Kenjaku continue their fight after Choso's battle cry for his brother's support. In the last video, I wanted to know if this was spiritual or him actually gaining some of his brother's abilities. And it was definitely the latter, because when Choso called for his brothers Eso, Kejizu, and Yuji, they pop up in his head and he's able to use Eso and Kejizu's curse techniques. So when Choso used Piercing Blood, he's able to control the blood at will better and change its course. Kenjaku knows Piercing Blood is at its fastest when it's launched naturally, because changing the course and altering its speed slows it down. Kenjaku is still dodging the blood with ease, and he's still not taking Choso seriously still. Choso activates Wing King, and this is the coolest I've ever seen Choso. I love the Halo and Angel Wings vibes this version of Wing King is giving off. Wing King is going to give him more mobility and control over the blood from the back of his halo, and there is also a poison effect, but since Kenjaku is his parent, it won't work. Also, this is probably because he's part cursed. While Kenjaku is sitting on a tree, just chilling, not giving a damn about his opponent as usual, he's wondering what all these attacks were for. And during this sequence, he talks about all three of his brothers and what they mean to him. Eso is elegance because of the way he moves around. Kejizu is freely because of how his body can stretch and move in like different ways. And as he's saying this, he stretches his arm out with the blood in him. His arms kind of have stitches on them, almost like similar to Mahito in a way. And he grabs Kenjaku by his robe and just starts to yank him, throw him around. And as he pulls him in, punches him to the ground, which I thought he actually finally got a hit off, because I was hyped for this, like being able to finally land a hit. And as he throws this punch, he has Yuji represented as power to him, but it is blocked by a cursed spirit that Kenjaku had in his hand. And Choso's actually doing a great job at giving Kenjaku no room to really counter and forcing him to use the little tricks in his arsenal. He's applying pressure after that attack and going straight in with more tracking blood. In one of the coldest ways he's used Supernova, he uses the tracking blood as a canal, and from both sides of the blood he uses Supernova. In other terms, it's like two homing missiles that turn into C4s essentially. But Choso only blew up the sides of where Kenjaku is standing, so Kenjaku diverted the attack down and took no damage. But Choso technically accomplished his mission and got Kenjaku to use a technique we don't know about, something other than curse manipulation or idle transfiguration. And clearly Kenny didn't want to use it because he said shit, after realizing he can't simply dodge this one. And right as Choso completes his task, potential best girl Yuki Tsukumo pulls up, and she's changed into her sorcerer fit, and thanks Choso for being an awesome Aniki. First off, a couple things I want to talk about. Choso using his brother's techniques. I'm glad he actually got this one, and this is kind of the boost he got. It's not a power up though, it's more so of him making their already versatile blood manipulation more versatile because of his brother's techniques. And I think that's already cool, because they're now his bag, if he survives past this, Choso's bag is pretty deep. And I just love this whole fight from the last chapter going into this one. It's like the perfect last stand like you would kind of make for a character like Choso. And Kenjaku as an antagonist, I like that his facial expressions are kind of a key factor in displaying what he's thinking and what he's going to do next. And once again, Gege has made the aspect of death impactful for characters in the living, and he's done this in a variety of ways. But in this case, the death of Eso and Kechizu made Choso's will stronger, and wanting to avenge his family was the major focus of his character arc. Simultaneously still having Yuji so he can keep his big bro nature. Now the jury is still out on whether Choso is gonna live or die by the time this whole altercation is over with. Me personally, I'm 50-50 if he lives. Because if he lives, I'm cool. If he dies, I ain't gonna lie, it's probably gonna hurt, but that would be yet another weight added onto Yuji's shoulders. Plus, I feel like in this next big fight, it's gonna be, I don't see Kenjaku just leave. If he kills one, he's gonna try to kill the other one. But Yuki finally pulled up, and in the next chapter, we could potentially finally see her curse technique and what she's capable of. Saving the first special grade sorcerer for last is, pretty clever. I got high expectations for how strong she is, My only predictions in terms of how she's gonna fight is that she has an enhanced body because she's a former vessel. I'm kind of expecting something of that nature, and her Shikigami is clearly strong as hell. First thing that comes to mind is like storage for some reason. I feel like this thing like stores its power. It can like pack a huge punch if it wants to. I don't know, it's kind of hard to really speculate to find some foreshadowing in regards to what she or the Shikigami can do. All I know is that the Shikigami kind of got bigger every time we see it. So it's going to be a pleasant surprise to see what she can actually do. And I gotta point out on Yuki's entrance on CHOSO'S last stand, it reminds me of Todo coming in to save Yuji in Shibuya. Kind of a little bit of a student-teacher parallel I found just really cool. Especially since the two people they help were brothers, it's kind of nice to tie that in. But in 2 weeks, we are going to see Yuki versus Kenjaku. It's been built up since the end of Shibuya, and the hype levels for this special grade battle is going to be insane. Boy, could you just imagine if she just got off screen?